Everybody, y'all have no idea.
Like, we literally just met.
Today has been already a day, already full of so much. What's up, Waffle?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's already been a day. And yeah, we just hurried up and put this together real quick. Literally, real quick.
Almost didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least almost didn't happen the way that it normally is supposed to happen. Today was a busy Tuesday.
Oh my God, I'm so thirsty. What's up, Ty?
What is up, y'all? And that's why this says just us. It is just us today. We don't have no guests. So we have lots to talk about.
Yeah.
If we remember everything. Because we definitely didn't write it down, but it's okay.
Usually we're really prepared. Going from last week into this week and then just today in general was just like... Yeah. But it's all good.
It's all good. We here.
Right.
We are here. We are alive and well.
What's up, Lisa and Jay?
So how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I chose to do absolutely nothing on Saturday because I was just completely overworked from the week. Mm-hmm. And and then Sunday, of course, we got that terrible news about a friend of ours that passed. And that was hard.
Very. All I'm going to say is that we really, really need to take a really strong look at the care that is given to Black women during pregnancy in this country. Mm-hmm. We already know that we have the highest mortality rate for Black women in pregnancy, and something has to be done where there's better care. Where I went on Sunday, one of the girls that was at the place that I went to, which I'll talk about in a second. Right. I asked her how was her care because she had a brand new baby with her. Okay. She said with the brand new baby, better care, much better care, but with her first daughter, horrible. Wow. Where one of the nurses was like looking at her like, she was like, I'm like in labor, the baby's coming now, and the nurse was like, can you wait? And I'm like, how do you say that to a pregnant woman who's about to give birth? Can you wait? Like, yeah. And she was also talking about how she works for the government. Mm-hmm. So when you work for the government and you get state insurance, it doesn't cover most things because you're not using one of the insurance companies that all the big corporations like to use. So with that, you're also getting much less care than normal people would. Stop it. And so it's a mess how they take care of our Black women, and we have to do better. Wow. We have to really do better. Wow. So, but rest in peace to our friend that we lost. Yes. She brought a beautiful baby boy into the world. Beautiful baby boy. And he's going to be very loved. Yeah. And he's going to know that you loved him. So rest in peace. Yeah. Other than that, Lynn. How are you? Yes. Hey, everybody. What's up, Lynn? Thank y'all for coming in. And thank y'all for coming in when we don't have no guests. Because I was thinking about that. Like, we've had guests consistently for the past 3 weeks. Yeah. Will people still care if it's just us? Yeah. And I was like, they might care. So, glad you're here. Right. What else did we do this weekend? I didn't do much. I worked on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I went to go celebrate my friend Samaya's birthday. Happy birthday, Samaya. If you guys have been in the chat in here, she's made some comments and we've had some discussions on the live. But Happy birthday. Her birthday was on Sunday, so I went to hang out with her and her family, and that was amazing. A lot of fun. It was the longest that I've been outside in a minute. Listen. So Sunday was beautiful too. So oh my God, it was a really beautiful day. Really, I thought it was going to rain, but it didn't rain. Mm-hmm. And they about to open outside again permanently now. Oh, thank God. May 19th, they are lifting most restrictions in Jersey. Good, because we need festivals. We need all kinds of stuff back again. Because they said you still have to socially distance. If you by yourself, 6 feet away from everybody else. If you're with your crew should be 6 feet away from everybody else. So, and they're still trying to push vaccinations. So hopefully, I have so many side comments about the logic. Well, because the science don't add up. It don't add up. The logic of it. Are we not breathing the same air that's 6 feet away from us? It don't make no sense. Like, okay, with the dining outside and those little things in New York where you sit in the thing.
In a little tube.
They done had 2 accidents where cars done ran through the thing. And I'm like, all right, so no, that's not working.
So that's the solution that they just need to cancel.
So I don't know what they're doing. I have no clue.
Yikes.
But we do have a lot to get to. We're going to say it now. We're probably going to say it again at the end of the show. Tired Tuesday's talent show.
It's back.
It is back.
I had 2 thoughts in my head at the same time. That's why I was
here.
Yeah.
It's or it's beer. Right. But yes, the talent show is coming back May 18th.
Yes.
May 18th.
Yes.
It's bigger and better.
It's bigger and better.
Better than ever.
Bigger and better.
I'm really excited about this.
I am too. I think we're going to have a nice turnout.
Yes.
And I think that people will be really just surprised about, especially the way that we're doing it this year.
Yes.
It's way more organized. And then the prizes are going to be so fantastic. Yeah. I think that this is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of you guys. So
we've already gotten some people tagging us on their videos.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some competition out here. And if y'all want that money, if y'all want them prizes, tag us in your videos.
Mm-hmm. I just had somebody hit me up today that was like, yeah, does it matter if it's an old video or a new video?
I was like, it don't matter.
It don't matter. I was like, just tag us.
On the 18th, you're going to have to perform live.
Yeah.
And it can't be no old video. So practice your song. Tag us in your video, but practice your song. And we will make sure that you have a fair chance.
Right.
We will be voting very fairly.
Yes.
I'm not going to be mean. No. Everybody thinks that I'm going to be mean, but I'm going to be very fair.
He's not going to be, what is his name, Simon Cowell?
No, I'm not going to be Simon Cowell. No. But I'm not going to be Randy either.
Yeah.
Or I might be Paula, just not here in the right mind. But that was a song. And you sang it.
Paula be like, oh, look at the flowers. Like, you'd be like, they just sang a song, bro. Like,
oh my God. So wait, they had a question. It says, are y'all doing it by genres? It is whatever you want. Whatever is on your heart. We want singers.
Yes.
We want rappers. We want poets. Even if you got a little dance in your spirit.
If you got a little gyrate in your system. Okay. Gyrate.
Now, the only thing is if you were a dancer, one of the prizes may not apply to you.
Yeah.
You can't release a single
with
dancing.
Right.
And we're not producing music videos. So
yeah.
But if you, whatever genre, it could be hip hop, R&B, pop, country, soul, whatever, classical. I would love to have somebody come on here and sing some opera.
What?
Oh my God.
That would really be next level.
That would be amazing.
That would be a next level contestant.
And they would probably win. That's horrible. I shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't have said that. Now everybody's gonna be in here like, woo!
Listen, if the notes is right, that's my thing. If the notes is right, then we're good to go. That's y'all know me. But no, we want everybody. And a little bit later on in the show, we're going to show you basically all the rules and everything that you need to know about that.
Right.
And then if you miss it during the show, then the video of that will be up on YouTube tonight around 9:00. So once we're done with Tired Tuesdays. So I guess we can get to our hot topics, whichever ones they are, because we didn't write them down. So hot topics time.
So I'm just gonna start roasting it. Now the higher you are, the slower it'll roast. The closer you are, the faster it'll roast.
All right.
Hot topics. I meant to say hot topics.
Hot topics. What is that? Crossfire. Yo, here comes
Crossfire. Crossfire.
Listen, if you were not from the 80s or early 90s, then you probably don't know that commercial, but it was the most energetic, most dramatic commercial for a kids game ever.
Right, to sell some damn cars.
Oh my God.
When I tell you, whew, they was singing.
He was going for blood. That note is hot.
Oh, Crossfire!
He was singing it full. Oh my God.
Lord.
So what's some hot topics that we can talk about? Because we definitely didn't write anything down.
We had a whole discussion.
We did.
And
okay, I'll start with the Grammys.
Okay, yes.
And there's a new piece to that, by the way.
Really?
I just found out. So
did that?
Well,
was stated today, or
no, it was stated yesterday. I just forgot about it.
Okay.
So basically, if you guys have been following us, you know that we have this whole thing, this love and hate relationship with the Grammys.
Yeah.
And last year, they were making some changes because the old president came out and told all the tea about the secret committees and the bias and racism that was going on in the Grammy board and all the voting issues. And so they started making some changes.
Mm-hmm.
The most major change that they made just last week, they got rid of the secret nomination committees.
Yep.
What that means is that when you vote for people or when you submit, there's thousands of submissions that come into the Grammys every year. The people on the board, which is me, because I'm one of the people that's on the voting board, we get those submissions and we go through and we vote for who we think should win or to be nominated.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't tell you is that after that process happens, those nominated votes that we do go through secret committees, which includes people that are either on the board or from record labels, from advertisers, from the broadcast networks, all that kind of stuff. They then decide from those nominations who really gets nominated and then gets to win for the actual voting rounds.
Yeah.
And so them saying that they're doing away with that
was major news.
Was major because what they basically said was last year we lied.
Mm-hmm.
They told that lady, Deborah Dugan, that she was lying about the secret committees.
Yep.
And they tried to sue her.
Yep.
And now it comes out, no, there are secret committees. Yep. So, yeah, we're sorry.
Yeah. And the first time I heard that news, when he sent me the link over, I was like,
she needs an apology.
Are we going to get a public apology from them?
Okay. Like, they did her wrong.
Because they threw her all the way under the bus and had so many people like accusing and pointing fingers of her and trying to make her seem like she was the bad guy, like she was destroying the whole system. And she was really trying to help. And she was exposing everything. And that's crazy.
So my petty ass went on Twitter and tweeted to Harvey Mason and the Recording Academy and asked them if she was going to get an apology. Haven't heard anything back yet, but I understand.
Of course.
But the new piece is that The Weeknd, he said, damn all that, I'm still not submitting. Boycott.
Really?
He said, I don't care. Y'all are still trash, and I'm not going to be supporting y'all. He said he is not submitting anything further, and he's still boycotting the Grammys. So that is very telling.
That's very telling.
Because, again, if you guys remember last year, The Weeknd had the biggest song of the entire year, the biggest album sales of the entire year from any artist, except for Taylor Swift. And then they shunned him from all the Grammy nominations.
Yeah.
So what you could tell was personal.
Yeah.
It was not about the music. It wasn't about the quality. I mean, I'm not a big Weeknd fan, but just because of how big his music was last year, it would have made sense for him to get something. And he got nothing.
Yeah.
And they tried to cover it up by saying, oh, well, it just wasn't, that's just how the voting works. No. Oh, no, it's not. Because now we know that you had secret committees.
Mm-hmm.
So
who he probably has a bad relationship with.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Probably unbeknownst to him, or whatever. Somebody is just not a fan of whatever he does, and they were just like, "Nah, we're not counting The Weeknd."
Exactly.
And that's why I'm happy. And I had even told him, I was like, "Oh, I might actually now consider being a part of the Grammy board," because before I was like, "I don't want it."
Now, my thing about being on the Grammy board is I've always wanted to be on the board, not so I could win, but so I could have my voice heard.
Yeah.
As far as whoever comes out with music or whatever, whether it be me or anybody that I'm connected to, and just be able to give someone that chance. So after this year's Grammys went by, I was like, oh, no, I'm done. I'm good. I don't trust y'all. I don't trust the voting process because the way that the votes were done, I just didn't believe in them.
Mm-hmm.
With this announcement, I'm reconsidering only because now taking out the secret committees ensures, or is supposed to ensure, that my vote actually counts.
Right.
Now, somebody did reply on Twitter and they said one thing that they need to do is make it mandatory for everyone who votes to listen to everything. Now, it's almost virtually impossible to do because there's thousands of submissions.
But they changed it by, what was it? I'm probably going to say this wrong. They changed it by genre. What is it?
So they lessened the number of the general categories, or the number of categories that you can vote in.
That you can vote in.
Yeah, they did it from 15 to 10.
So it makes it a little bit more accessible to actually listen to everything, or at least be able to skim through it.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not listening to everything.
Because that's like really a dedicated whole like weekend for like 4 or 5 days to like
Right.
just sit there and really listen to music.
The thing
and
about
write your notes about it.
The reason why I'm not going to listen to everything is because the Grammy voting board is made up of your peers in the industry. So that right there allows you the privilege to listen to who you know. Now, I do believe that the voting criteria should not just be, let me just click on your name and they get nominated.
Yeah.
I think that you need to meet a certain criteria of the quality of your music, the content, things of that nature, based on who you vote for. So if I only listen to, out of the 10,000 submissions, if I only listen to like 20 of those, and it's because I know them, at least I can go through and say, this album was amazingly crafted, you know, or this person was really singing, or the content was dope, or the lyrics, you know, met like a 1 to 5 scale or something like that. Gotcha. But just to put the names down, it's a popularity contest. Yeah. And so that's one of the things that I think they need to change. Yeah. It would make the process a lot longer, but it would make sure that there's a lot more integrity involved. Right. So we will see what happens. The voting rounds start in September, and either September or October. And I gotta figure out.
I think it's October. Yeah, y'all, it's been a long day. When I tell you, it's been a long day.
I think it's October. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. You never know. Yeah. You never really know with the Grammys.
The cool thing that they were still counting submissions from 2020.
Well, they extended the date. So September, like the last week of September, is like the start of the eligibility round. No, I'm sorry. That's the end of the eligibility. Right. So basically from September 20 through September 2021 is the window of eligibility. So, amen. Yeah. Which means I could submit my stuff.
That means
you could submit your stuff too, right? You can submit Lucky.
Yeah, I can submit Lucky.
And I think you should submit Lucky.
Yeah, I will submit Lucky.
If they don't give you the membership off of my recommendation, right, then I'll submit for you. Okay. See how that works? Yeah. Get your friends in there. And I know the quality of the music. Amen? Okay. I mixed it. Okay. So that's one hot topic. Yeah. What's another hot topic that we were supposed to talk about?
OMG. Okay. This was not on our list. Okay. But can we talk about the Michael B. Jordan movie?
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did, and I didn't.
Without Remorse.
Yeah, the movie's called Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, and it's on Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. I watched it. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say that I absolutely like action pack wise, it was really, really dope. Mm-hmm. And I see where they're going with the movie and what they're trying to do and trying to create this whole, I guess, other side of
if you're not familiar
of Tom Clancy.
Yeah, because if you're not familiar with Tom Clancy, he is the writer of all the Jason Bourne movies. Yeah. So Bourne Supremacy, Bourne whatever, Bourne Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, he was the writer of those, and he also did the new John Kelly series of Without Remorse. Yeah. So this movie is based on one of Tom Clancy's books. Yeah. I was a little concerned about their casting choice. But I was like, let me give it a chance. And I actually liked it. It was not the greatest acting job from anybody involved. Okay, so let's just take that out the window. Nobody really acted.
Because I think that was really the issue that I had. Mm-hmm. Like, I wanted to really be like pulled into this story, and I wasn't really pulled into it, and I just found myself just waiting for the next action scene. And so it was like you could see what it wanted to be in all its glory, but then it was just like, but I'm not like emotionally attached to these characters yet. Like, you know how some movies can pull you in and you're rooting for that particular character. Mm-hmm. We only got a connection with
Michael B. Jordan's
character. That was it. And everybody else.
That's what they were doing.
I know, but it was just kind of like, purpose. But it needed to have some other, it needed a balance.
You know what it was? I think because everybody got picked off real quick in the beginning of the movie.
Yo, I was like, I want to know what those checks were like.
We didn't have a chance to even get to know some people because they was getting killed early.
What?
And these was names of people that we know. Like Cam Gadget, he got killed.
I was like, it was not even the first 10 minutes, and he was already gone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow.
But the way that they was getting him, though, was real messed up.
Yeah, it was.
Really messed up.
And that's what made me. I was like, okay, this is going to be super action packed. Yeah. There was one moment where I did fall into his character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give too much of the movie in case y'all didn't see it.
He has moments. Yeah,
and I was like, okay, I'm here, and then all of a sudden, during watching it, I just got lost.
I will say it's always good to see a hometown hero on the screen.
Word,
Michael B. Jordan is from New Jersey, so big ups to him. He's always putting Jersey on the map, so that's dope.
Yeah.
I would be interested in seeing the next movie.
Yeah, and I would hope that it would be a whole lot better.
But I will say this: it didn't really veer too far from the Jason Bourne movies, because Matt Damon really didn't have to act in those movies.
Yeah,
he just fought a lot.
This is also very true, because these action-packed movies like this don't require.
It's not about acting; it's about action.
Yeah, this is true.
I did watch another movie, and I watched it last night actually.
What?
The Mitchells versus the Machines. It's an animated movie on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's on my list
to watch. It was so good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
I might watch that tonight.
I think you would like that, because usually I don't come on here and talk about the happy movies.
Right.
But this one was done really, really well. It had like a whole all-star cast too doing the voices. Like John Legend and Chrissy Teigen are in the movie. Eric Andre plays a big character in the movie.
Nice.
It was really, really dope. But basically, it's about our cell phones taking over the world.
Oh, makes sense.
And getting rid of all the humans.
That makes sense.
But it's based around this family called the Mitchells, who the daughter is the main character, and she's trying to just kind of come into her own, find herself, and dealing with family drama in the midst of robots taking over the world.
Wow.
So it was really, really dope. Very well done. So definitely watch that.
Yeah.
I think you would like that.
Okay.
I want to talk about something shady. And I don't think this is on our list either, but I feel like I need to address it. Are y'all ready? We're ready? I'm not going to name names, but we're going to bring us back to music. So a couple of projects have been released recently. And we haven't given our full music review yet, but there's a few projects, and I will name one project because that one, she getting paid, so she ain't really worried about my opinion. The other project is another indie artist. It's 2021, okay? Every avenue, every nuance, every program, everything is accessible to you. Why y'all still putting out albums with the wrong notes? Why y'all still putting out albums on DSPs where the lyrics ain't right or spelled correctly? Or where your album title is not spelled correctly? Like, why are we doing these things in 2021? Can we talk about that for a second? I know we probably were not supposed to talk about this, but I need to talk about it. Like, I get it that as independent artists, and actually the one album is Kelly Price's new album. She put out a gospel album called Grace. She looks beautiful on the cover. I think the cover is amazing.
Yeah.
I listened to the album, and Kelly sings down. We know this. But Kelly sounded tired on that album, and several of the songs had wrong notes that were left on there, whether it was backgrounds or whether it was her lead vocals, and it felt rushed. It didn't feel like it was well thought out. And I feel like we sometimes let things slide just because people are who they are and not because we expect excellence. I'm going to say something controversial.
Okay.
The Clark Sisters album that came out after the movie. There were several songs on that album where the notes were wrong.
Yes.
And everybody was bigging it up and just like not talking about the wrong notes. Now, is it because they're the Clark Sisters and we just not going to talk about them? Or is it because y'all didn't hear it? So my question is, are we so far into this age of mediocrity where we can't tell the difference between right and wrong anymore when it comes to the craft?
I think that that's true, though.
Okay.
I think that that's true. And to jump back on, if you're an indie artist, we are living in the age of DSPs, and everybody has access to a streaming platform through whomever. You go through several stages before you drop music. And number one, I would say, do not rush product just for the sake of putting it out as soon as possible. Because when you do that, there are steps that are going to be missed. So if you release your project and you plan something around it, and then all of a sudden the project is not out on the day that you planned a whole big old event, and people can't at least go home and listen to it, that's an issue. And then when it is listed, it's listed wrong inside all of the DSPs. Like, they ask you twice, usually, like, are you sure?
You have to confirm it.
Have you looked over this to make sure that everything is correct? Everything. And for me, I know that I always get anxiety when that thing comes up, and I go back and I will reread everything like 3 and 4 times.
First
because
of all,
I'm like,
I don't hit submit until maybe the 4th day. Because I just want to make sure.
Right.
But I mean, and now,
because that's the worst, to go back into the system and have them change it.
Yeah.
Because now it just makes you look like all of the time and effort, number one, that you've now put into this project, you're not putting the time and effort into the release of the project.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can't half step on that when you're putting out music.
Yeah.
Then it starts to just like, oh, okay, you missed your opportunity if somebody's going, well, I wanted to hear it, but it didn't come out on such and such. And then the DSPs choose to release it on Wednesday. People are now off to the next thing that they wanted to listen to. And
even DJ Khaled's album, I felt like so much was put into the pomp and circumstance of him doing another project, but then listening to the project, I'm like,
see,
a lot of the songs sound like they were just dialed in, and it's like, oh, he got Jay-Z and Nas on a record. I'm like, that's cool, but that's not the record that I really wanted to hear from them.
Right.
You know, not on a DJ Khaled album.
Gotcha.
And
you
maybe
would have
just
preferred them to do something on their own without DJ Khaled?
I would have preferred that it sounded like this was something that's been in the making
for a while,
for a minute.
Gotcha.
Like, and it's in an event. I told you yesterday that a lot of the music that's been coming out, like, it's been cool, but it hasn't been wowing me. And it feels like people are just putting stuff out for the sake of putting it out.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's the wow factor? Where's that whole thing of like, oh my God, this is going to stop the world? Like, it doesn't even seem like anybody's trying to stop the world, you know? So with Kelly Price, I thought it was a good effort, because we've always wanted to hear Kelly do gospel. She always kills it when she does gospel. But now getting like an entire album of it, I'm thinking, okay, let's see which producer she got with. Let's see, you know, how it's engineered, how it's done, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It just felt like less than special.
Right.
You know, I just feel like, you know, at some point you gotta take a second and make sure that you dotted all your T's. No, dotted all your I's.
Dotted all your I's.
Dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's. You got another show you're doing? You got a show you're doing? No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
This was.
That's fine. I'm just saying we doing the show, and they know we're doing the show. Whoever's texting you,
right?
So that's fine. But then also, like for independent artists, because we have all this access and because we can do everything ourselves, just take a beat and just say, you know, like, okay, just say like, let me look this through and make sure this is right. I will give y'all a little tip. If you want to have your lyrics timed so that when you put your little stories up on Instagram or when you're listening to the song on your phone through like Apple Music or whatever, and you want the lyrics to be timed with the music, you cannot use TuneCore because that option does not exist for them. Okay? You want to use DistroKid or you want to use United Masters because they have that option available.
Right.
When someone wants to read the lyrics to your song and we open it up in Apple Music, and it's just paragraphs, that doesn't look good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
there's a certain type of format of song structure while reading it, when you're reading lyrics. You know what I mean? There's a way to write it out so it makes sense while you're listening to the song.
And now with the update that Apple just did for iOS, you can share lyrics on the platform now. Oh, that's cute. If there's a certain lyric that pops up on your phone, you can actually tap on it and then share that lyric, send it to somebody, and they get to actually hear a portion of the song with the lyrics that you selected. Right. So you want to be able to take advantage of that. If you're rushing to put an album out and you just slap the lyrics on there somewhere, that's not cool. Yeah. And then if you do put the lyrics, make sure that your lyrics match the song. Make sure that what's actually playing is what you're reading. It's just simple things like that can make all the difference in how you are perceived and your brand is perceived, especially as an indie artist, when we do have to compete with the majors that are out there, we want to make sure that our shit is on point.
All of our efforts as an indie artist are supposed to be at the top level that we can ever make it. So little mistakes like that don't go over well. You know what I mean? Like that, it starts to dummy down your brand. Like, okay, if there's a line or two missing in a song or something is misspelled, okay, you can look that over.
Right.
But if you pop up on Apple Music and you have all your lyrics attached to a song, and then there's one song that doesn't have any lyrics attached to it, that's not any type of a mistake.
That happens with the majors too, and I've never understood that. Like when people rush albums out to meet a Friday just because you want to meet a certain deadline or whatever, or if you want to oversaturate the market and put a whole bunch of projects out for no reason, it's like you're gonna wind up missing something.
Yeah.
You know, there's I forget whose album it was that came out recently. I don't remember who it was, but I remember like looking at the lyrics. And I was like, oh, this is great. I get to read the lyrics and really understand what they're talking about, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Then all of a sudden he got to the next song and was like, these lyrics are not available. I was like, oh, well, this is the single.
Wow.
How come the single's lyrics are not available?
Wow.
You know, but then you get somebody like Busta Rhymes who put his album out and every song had all the lyrics.
Yeah.
Every song had, you know, all the right spellings and all that kind of stuff. And his album, it's been being worked on for almost 4 years. So, or maybe longer than that, because that Mariah Carey video was done a while ago. But yeah, it's just taking some extra time to make sure that your stuff can stand next to, if not above, the majors. And I say that because the majors know that we're out here. They know that the indie artists can eventually take over the major industry.
Yeah.
But the reason why they keep winning is because they have people in place to take care of those small, minute details.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure that we're doing the same thing too.
Yep.
So.
Exactly.
And then mellow down your vocals. Go back and sing them things over. You're not done just because it's the end of the night. Sometimes you got to fix that. And if it costs a little bit more money to go back in the studio and fix them notes, then go back and fix them notes. You can't be some of the greatest voices out here and leaving wrong notes on your project. I know nobody wants to, you know, sound computerized, and nobody wants to sound, you know, like a robot. There are ways to use auto-tune and Melodyne so that you don't sound like a robot.
Yeah, there is. There is.
But don't be lazy, and don't let your engineers be lazy either. Like, I know that I have to make sure that everybody sounds pristine on the stuff that I work on because, number one, that's my brand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm known.
That's your name attached to it.
Yeah, I'm known for making sure that people's vocals sound pristine. So I would never be lazy on someone else's song. So don't let your engineers be lazy, but then don't you be lazy either and be like, oh, it's okay. It's just one little note. No, that one note can make all the difference.
It really can. It can. It can. And sometimes if it becomes a late night in the session and you can't no longer hit those notes,
go home.
You can just call it quits for the night and you can book another so you come in fresh, well rested, and ready to hit the notes that you couldn't hit the night before. Because it all happens. It happens all the time. Our voice can get tired.
It is okay.
It can get overworked. Yes. So you can go home and come back the next day. Do you know what Michael Jackson used to do? Michael Jackson used to come in when his voice was feeling a particular way all the time. He would turn off the lights, get in the booth, and he would say, today I am only singing the first verse and the hook. I will catch y'all 2 days from today. And come back later and finish the song. So if Michael, who was a worldwide success and a worldwide icon, can say, I can come in tomorrow. You can too. For the best vocal, because you know that whatever you put on that particular project is now written in stone once you release it.
And if you were not, say, a Michael Jackson, or you're not, a Brandy, who, her background vocals are always,
that's a session immaculate. In itself.
Get a vocal producer.
Yeah.
Find someone who knows how to make you sound the way that you want to sound.
Yeah.
I think that's something that people don't really big up enough.
Yeah, they
don't.
Is
vocal production.
They don't.
I think that it's good to have someone in the studio with you to help you with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or else you're going to be out here sounding crazy. You know, and I mean, it may cost a little bit more, but maybe you negate that next video shoot or photo shoot to make sure that your music is right first.
And then instead of releasing an album, you say, okay, I'm going to release a 4-song EP because I know that that's what I have my budget for.
And these 4 songs have the right notes.
And it will be written in stone perfectly for all to remember and last the test of time.
I mean, I'm giving away some key gems before my consultation business starts, which you will be able to get later on this month.
Literally very soon.
Very soon. We'll be launching that. But I'm just saying that there are things that I think should be canon at this point in 2021. Yeah. Like, let's not let the age of mediocrity take us over.
Yeah.
I understand that it's very easy to put music out these days. It's very easy for people to do the least and gain the most. But that's the thing that I always say takes away from who we are as a people.
Yeah.
Whether it's Black people or whether it's our age group or society or just musicians in general. Let's not let the ease of doing music supersede the quality.
Yeah. And push yourself. It's really about pushing yourself. Like, okay, you can be in your comfort zone of what you do and be the best that you can where you are. But then find an element where you can push yourself, whether, you may not be a person that rap sings. Try rap singing. Try putting that into a song. Mingle it in just a little bit. Or you might be somebody that chooses not to hold notes. For this particular song, hold your notes out. Like, challenge yourself. These are the things that make you an artist because you're willing to go the next step than someone else. Like, you're really ready to push yourself to your limits. And that's really what it's all about too. Like, pushing yourself to your limits.
And if you
raise your game.
If you can't sing, maybe you should be a writer.
Yeah,
you don't have to force the notes out. Especially if you're not going to go and get the training.
Yeah, because after a while, if you're not...
Maybe you're not supposed to be in the music industry. Maybe you're supposed to be an investor. Because you got lots of money to make videos and photo shoots. Maybe put that money behind the artist who actually really has the talent. That's a little shady, but it's true.
And it's, yeah. Like, know your limits.
Know your lane.
Know your limits, know your lane. Know what's best for you, and really truly take the time to really evaluate yourself. You know what I mean? Don't get into the hype of, because we're in an age right now where everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be heard. Attention is
the new currency.
We used to say that on, what was that, season 2?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it really is. And you think that it's always about being seen, but then it's like, okay, but what are you leaving people?
Yeah.
What are you leaving people? Where's the example of how can people watch your growth in something? How can they see you expand to where they want? Now you're really truly inspiring someone. Yeah, you might be able to get it done.
But are you getting it done for what purpose?
Right, for yourself, or you know what I mean? And if it is for yourself, okay, cool.
But that's the thing. Like, even if you're not the greatest singer, let me take a step back because I know I can be shady. But ask a question. Find help. Seek help. But I'm just saying that because the resources are available. And if you know that your stuff does not sound like the way you want it to sound, find out what's missing and then go and get it. But to continue to put out stuff and you know that it's not up to par, or you continue to put out, music and it's missing lyrics or stuff is misspelled or whatever is not being done the right way or doesn't come out on the actual release date, find out why. And then ask a question. So number 1, you can either fix it, or 2, you won't do it again. And you'll know for the next time. So that way you can continue to grow. Like you said, growth is everything.
And also, as a singer, as a vocalist, make sure you are not leaning on your engineer. Make sure that you are coming into that booth and you are putting your best foot forward.
Well, see, that's why I said vocal producer, because the difference between a vocal producer and an engineer is that an engineer technically is supposed to press the button and go home.
This is true.
Now,
this is true.
There are vocal producers who know how to engineer, and those are the best ones, like me. But you're not going to find a lot of them.
Right.
So what you need to do is honestly, and even it's 2021, everybody got a Mac computer with GarageBand on it. Practice.
It's really about, because practice makes permanent. It really does. It really does. And if you're putting in the effort for your style, your image, your brand, and all kinds of other stuff, but you're trying to be a singer in this industry and you're not putting any value or practice or any time into getting your vocals up to par, like,
you know, I used to, oh, that's the other topic that I'm going to get to in a second. I used to question why God did not make my metabolism one where I eat a whole bunch of pizza and I immediately have 6-pack abs. And I used to be mad that I didn't look like everybody else. And, you know, my body wasn't the same way that everybody else's was. But I knew that I could sing my ass off and I could record and engineer and vocal produce better than anybody around me.
But you also took the time to
That's the thing.
that.
I put the work in. Now, what I see is the exact opposite happening, where every day on Instagram, everybody's showing their body, everybody's in the gym, but they want to put out music. And my thing is, the amount of time that you're spending working on your body, if you're not doing the same amount of time working on your music, I don't care what you look like. Your music's going to sound like shit to me.
And it's about your craft.
And the thing about it is, we feed into that because we know that mediocrity and sex sells. But my thing is, don't come asking for help then.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you just introduced me to an artist yesterday, Afghan.
Mm-hmm.
And this was interesting because he's not, and I've listened to a couple of the songs. I haven't gone through the album yet, but I listened to a couple of the songs already. And I actually really, really like it. And I know it's a different approach. You said he's from...
He is from, I think,
Singapore?
Either Sri Lanka or Singapore.
Okay. And he's not the most, like, handsome guy. Like...
He's not typically attractive.
Yeah, he's not. But that, something in that is welcoming. You know what I mean?
On Instagram today, he posted a video. And he was talking about how he was so, like, honored. Not honored. I guess he was just, like, really inspired because... He's never been to the States. He came over here to do this album, and he worked with people that he had no idea who they were, but he knew that he wanted to do something different. He wanted to look different. He wanted to sound different. And he said the only way that you can stand out is if you are different than whatever is out there.
Yeah.
So him not looking that way, different.
Yeah.
Him being from a whole different country and coming over here to get a certain type of music.
That's powerful.
You know,
that's
you're
powerful.
unique.
But that's pushing yourself and your artistry to go beyond what you're comfortable in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what artistry is about. You want to explore different sounds, learn different techniques, learn different types of music. So this way you can, you know, create your own sound, your own whatever. Like it's about putting out your own frequency out into the world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why Michael was so special. You know what I mean? Michael Jackson, it was his frequency, and that's why there's so many people that try to emulate that will not do it.
And in the same token, if you can't create that frequency, but you know that you have a heart for it, and you have put in the work, or you want to put in the work, then find someone who believes in that same frequency that you're trying to put out.
Yeah.
And align with them.
Yeah.
You may have to pay them, you may not, but find that person who really believes in your sound and can take it to that next level.
Yeah, yeah.
But just doing it off of a whim and just throwing it out there and expecting the same thing that everybody else gets, to me, is a little less than smart.
Yeah, yeah.
So do the work. That's the main point of this whole thing, is just to do the work and then see the real results come through.
Right.
I haven't always gotten it right. He hasn't always gotten it right.
Right.
But we've learned and we've made sure that, okay, we've done this enough to now know what's required. You know, like I know when I first put out Chronicles, that was a mess when I look back at it. The way that it came out and the single, remember I did like 3 different single covers for the first single and it looked horrible. And then we actually got together and made it look like something.
Gotcha.
You know, like it was a lot. Even the videos that we shoot, we've all kind of had to step our game up as we do each one because we want to be better than what we were before.
Yeah.
I'll see a new trick that somebody did in their video and I'm like, okay, let's do that now.
Yeah.
You know, but do the work. Put the work in because it feels better with the win.
Yeah.
When you know you actually did the work to get there.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all I'm saying. And that goes for anybody, whether you're independent, just starting out, or if you're a veteran. You know what's required, Kelly Price.
Ooh. There's a lot of good comments in here.
Yes. Let's see. Mom said, if you're going to invest in yourself, do your best, give your best. That's your money. Don't waste your money now.
Don't waste your money.
Don't waste the money. My God.
Like anything, like you better make sure that you are taking advantage of the value of whatever you are putting your money into.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean? That's what it's really about.
Lynn said, eventually, if you're going to perform those songs live, so it behooves you to get it right from the jump.
Listen. And this is another side of that. Say if you're in the studio and it's that one run that you just trying to get and it just can't be done. And your vocal producer takes it, melodines it, puts it together, and goes, okay, this is it. Now it's your responsibility to now take that run home and practice it, because now you know what it sounds like correctly. So this way you can hit it when it's on the live stage.
And trust me, everybody does it. That's why they even have the program.
Listen,
I do it.
I have done it. And he has corrected some of my stuff. And I have had to go back and go, okay, I'm not hitting the stage until I got that.
Like the reason why we're able to sing, whenever you hear somebody say, oh my God, they sound just like the record, and they're not lip syncing, it's because they practice what the record is playing.
Yeah.
They want to give you that same performance. Now it takes work, because we might not hit every single note on the stage, but the main runs, we're going to hit those. Make sure you get those right. So it's just all about practicing. Real quick, what is up, Kenneth K. Toots? Happy birthday, sir. I think his birthday was yesterday or today. Oh, okay. Yes, happy birthday, sir. Thank you for coming into the room.
Right.
But yeah, it's just do the work. There's work that's involved in this. And like I said, if you're going to put so much work into what you look like, put the same kind of work into what you sound like.
Yeah. It's a lot to be an artist.
It's a lot.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. And, you know,
I don't have the motivation to put the same amount of work into my body the way that I put into the music. I wish I did, but it's just not there. But I know that me putting in the work that I put into the music has made me the musician that I am today.
Right.
Where, you know,
because
you're not going to hear wrong notes on my album.
Because remember, even though sex sells, and even though it is about image, and even though it is about all of this stuff, it is first and foremost the music industry. Make sure your music is right. Make sure your music is honest to you. Make sure your music is the best that it can possibly be to present who you want to be to the world, and the frequency you want to give out. Whether that's just having a good time and that's all you want to do. You know what I mean?
Music that you would want to listen to.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't want to hear wrong notes, then don't keep wrong notes on your album.
Okay.
If you want to read correct lyrics and spelling and punctuation, then create good lyrics and punctuation. But you know, don't just pass on that stuff because it's easy. Go back and make sure that it's right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of sex selling and such.
Real quick, Mom just said
your vibe is endless.
Your vibe is endless.
Just
exercise it.
Amen.
That's a good one.
Yes. Speaking of sex selling and focus on bodies and such, we have to give a huge big ups, round of applause, love to Will Smith.
Yo, because look, listen, right now, I am not perfect. I am not the weight that I am used to. I have definitely put on pounds, and I have gotten to the point where, because I know y'all been seeing my Instagram, I don't care no more. COVID has enabled me to not care. But when I tell you Will Smith coming out and just being like, look, this is what I look like right now, and I'm going to show this, and I'm going to own this, and if I choose to change it, I can. But I'm just going to let you know that this is also a possibility.
Yeah.
And this is what you can be too.
Yeah.
And you can still be happy with yourself. That is the most motivating. When I tell you it was the most like peaceful thing ever.
And we rarely get that.
We rarely
And I'm going to say something controversial, because I understand that the whole body positivity movement has mostly been for women, which I agree with, because, you know, beauty standards are completely unattainable.
Yes.
With all of the things that we see and we're forced to believe is beauty that's fake and adjusted and airbrushed and all that kind of stuff. We understand the plight.
Yes.
And I think the other side of that has been men have gotten away with not having to uphold to those standards. It's really not that simple, because if you're in the entertainment business, you are still upheld to a certain standard of beauty as a man. If you want to be a superhero, you got to have body. If you want to be a romantic interest, you got to have body. If you want to sell records, you got to have body.
Yep.
And I appreciate when someone can authentically be themselves and be like, listen, this is what it is. Take it or leave it. I still got my money.
Right.
And I'm still going to give you good quality, whatever I'm giving you.
Right.
Like, this is who I am. Dixon, Darius Scott.
Right.
previously known as Darius Scott. He has put out a video with India Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
And the video's name, oh my God, why can't I think of the name of the video? I forget what the name of the video is, but he's not showing skin in the video. But we know Darius is like a big dude like me.
Right.
At one point in the video, he stands up and he's only wearing a white t-shirt and jeans, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has been a fear of mine as a bigger dude, to just wear a t-shirt on a video or in any type of photo or whatever. Like right now, I'm wearing a t-shirt, but I have something covering it because I feel like I'm hiding my fat. And I know it's not, but it's a subconscious thing that we all kind of deal with. And for him to stand up with the rolls in the back of his neck and whatever was showing, it was just like the confidence.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Someone is, number one, a signed artist and doing R&B and singing his face off.
Mm-hmm.
But then also not having to worry about what he looks like.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we really as a society need to get to this point that beauty is not this particular standard, because it's killing folks.
Yeah.
It's killing folks. It's causing us to have so many mental issues. It's causing us to spend money on therapy. It's causing us to be super insecure about ourselves and
comparing ourselves to everybody all the time.
You know what I mean? And you take that low self-esteem and that constant battle with confidence into so many other things because of it. Because in the back of your head, you're trying to meet a standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just recently had a conversation where I was talking to a coworker of mine, and she was like, yeah, we were talking about music and going into it. And then she was like, so, if you're doing R&B, what that body looking like? And instantly I was just like, but why is that so important? And instantly I got shut down, because right now I'm in a state of mind where it's just like, this is what I look like. I have extra pounds on. I don't really care. I'm not trying to sell body image and anything like that. I'm trying to find the comfortability in me. And literally that one moment set me back in my own confidence journey, that I was trying to just be comfortable with me and not trying to set myself to this thing of, okay, I have to be this weight in order to be comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or be attractive to everybody else.
If you look at Luther was the voice. If you look at Barry White, if you look at, Teddy Pendergrass, if you look at any of our big singers, even Prince and Michael, like their weight didn't fluctuate, but their weight was always a topic of conversation, where it was like, why can't we just appreciate these people for their gift?
Yeah.
And we're always so worried about what they look like, and we've seen where it really doesn't matter what people look like. And I'm gonna say this, even on outside of music, reality is always better than fantasy.
It is.
I remember when I had a deal on the table with a major label, they didn't care what I looked like.
And that was surprising, especially
surprising. And during that time,
especially coming from that particular executive.
Yes.
Because I had already been in some other meetings and heard some other stories from that particular executive. And for you to get that response, that was like, whoa.
And I was like, okay, so you're telling me that I don't need to lose weight in order to gain this deal?
What a confidence booster.
And,
you know what I mean?
And then it was the reason, which was a woman wants a real man to take home. The fantasy, that's the one that's going to cheat. That's the one that's not going to treat her right. That's the one that's not going to be what she needs to be.
That's the one you meet on vacation.
Yeah. That's a momentary situation. So whereas it looks good on screen or it looks good on stage or whatever, that's cool and all, but who's going to raise your kids?
Yeah.
Who's going to put food in the house so y'all can both eat and be fat? Who's going to really take care of you?
Yeah.
And it's not to say that people that have bodies and go to the gym and work out can't take care of people. It's just a matter of what is a realistic expectation for you.
Yeah.
And like mom is saying, like, let me put this up here. If you ain't going to change it, be comfortable in your own skin. It's too stressful. I lost weight because I want to change. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I did it for me, not anybody else. And that's
all it's about.
That's all it's about.
That's
do it
all
for
it's
you.
About, and not trying to meet a standard. You know what I mean?
Let's see. learning to not break eye contact with myself in the mirror daily. I usually walk through the world with an imagined image of myself rather than the actual body I have on, stranger to my own self. Oof.
Tamaya, you have no idea how much I feel you on that statement, because there has been so many times where I have currently, like, literally, you know, when you get out the shower and the mirror's right there and you'd be like, ooh, don't look, because but that making eye contact with yourself and owning who you are, that is powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take that into practice.
Same. I mean, I've been on that wave for a few months now, and it has been very liberating. I mean, I've always been a bigger dude, and there's been times where I tried to go into the gym and starve myself and do all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't click in my brain to do that on a consistent basis. Maybe one day it will. But I also know that I've been able to accomplish way more and what I need, and be able to pull what I want without having to change who I am.
This is very true.
I have dated, I have screwed, and I have been in love and done a whole bunch of things with some of the most beautiful people in the world that you would ever meet, that you would never expect me to get, but I got them.
So
just
right.
saying.
So right.
Just saying.
So right.
Okay?
So right.
I can still pull what I need to pull, and I can sing your drawers off too. So I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be that way for everybody.
Yeah.
And maybe one day when the music is not the main focus anymore, then I can put that into focus where it's like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I can make sure that I'm still healthy and alive to see that point and do things that I have to do on that front. But if I'm only trying to be sexy or fit to sell a record, then the integrity behind the music goes out the window.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where we're at, you know, and that's why I really like what Will Smith did yesterday and today, which was It was amazing.
Because when I tell you that brought the biggest smile to myself, and we were having a conversation because I was doing some filming today, and we had a quick little conversation about it. And I was like, yo, he deserves that time off, eating whatever the hell he wanted to, those muffins late at night. Because when I tell you that man has been in shape for the majority of his life, like, after a while, it's like, how much longer do you want to be inside of a gym and
first of all,
trying to meet a standard?
You look at somebody like Christian Bale, who changes his body for every single movie role.
Yeah.
To the point where he either puts on a whole bunch of muscle or weight, or he starves himself.
Yeah.
And I just saw a picture of Mark Wahlberg. He's got a new movie where he's playing a boxer who becomes, I think, some type of preacher or something like that. He put on 30 pounds in 3 weeks.
Damn.
And we know Mark Wahlberg is body for days, Calvin Klein model, Marky Mark type of situation.
Yeah.
And he looked like a completely different person, stomach out, everything. And I'm like, so when you think about somebody like Will Smith, who has had to maintain a shape for every movie, you get tired. The man is in his 50s. He want to go eat some chicken? Let him eat some chicken.
Listen.
Let him eat. If Beyonce wants to partake in her Popeyes lifetime membership, then she can partake in her Popeyes lifetime membership.
Rihanna said, I'm not dropping no album because I like eating these biscuits.
She wants the biscuits.
I want this curry.
I too want to eat the biscuits.
So it's like, and I that excites me when I see that. Like, that is... And still being in the public eye and being proud about what you look like. And that's...
Because guess what? We don't own nobody's body.
No.
We don't own anybody, number one. But we definitely don't own anybody's body or what we think they should look like. Now, if you have a contract with a movie studio or a brand and you're supposed to look a certain way, then adhere to your contract.
Right.
But why are we still signing those types of contracts anyway? Like, let's just be who we are. And that's the other thing. If everybody, like, the way that Instagram has fucked up everybody's brain is ridiculous to me, because you hear all these stories about, you know, America's the most obese country in the world and everybody's overweight and we're unhealthy and all that kind of stuff. But then all you ever see on Instagram is people with bodies.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the gym. Everybody's working out. Everybody's on the beach half naked, looking the best, you know, that they've ever looked. So what's the true story? And then if those are the only things that we're seeing, is it influencing us to do better?
Yeah.
Or is it making us feel like shit so that we don't?
Yeah.
You know, that's...
And then it makes you also think, you know, how are these algorithms set up?
Yeah.
To remind you of this? Because you have women out here really killing themselves trying to meet a standard, you know, doing all
Looking
kinds
like
of surgeries
influencers or social media
and all kinds of
dots
other stuff. And I can't imagine.
Yeah, the pressure.
What? But it's just, yeah.
Thank you, Will Smith.
Thank you, Will Smith.
And thank you, Lizzo. Yeah. Thank you to anybody who is letting us be who we are. Instead of having to force ourselves to look a certain way.
And Lizzo be owning it. Yeah. Lizzo be up on her Instagram, and I love it. Yeah. She be really killing it.
So I think that's all the hot topics that we've got for today.
Yeah.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Let's wrap up.
Let's wrap it up.
You want to keep warm when you're feeling chilled, but you don't want to raise your heating bill. Now, there's the Snuggie, the blanket that has sleeves.
Wrap up time. Wrap up time.
Wrap it on up.
Wrap up time.
Wrap it on up. So thank you guys for coming and joining us today. This was fun.
It was.
Just be us for the first time in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And shout out to all the guests that we had to come on the show. Kimmy G, Natalie, Imani, Ism. We had some other people that we may or may not bring onto the show.
Right.
We're seeing how things are going to go.
Right.
But until then, we are very much looking forward to the Tired Tuesdays talent show.
Whoop, whoop.
Pew, pew. Happening on May 18th. And to give a little bit more of what you're going to know about the talent show, here's Lenny Harold and A Natural.
Mama, I want to say.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
It's back.
Tired Tuesdays Talent Show is coming back. It is back. You've been asking, and it's here. To enter, go on Instagram and post your best performance video, making sure to tag us at Tired Tuesdays and using hashtag Tired Tuesdays Talent Show. We will select the best of the best to compete live on the air on May 18th on an episode of Tired Tuesdays.
The winner will be announced on May 25th, live on Tired Tuesdays, and will receive a prize package including $100 and a single distribution package from Huddle Music, along with some other prizes. So what are you waiting for?
Send your videos in.
Right. You got until May 14th.
May 14th is the deadline.
So
let's get it. Tired Tuesdays Talent Show.
Come on now.
For more information, go to our website at tiredtuesdays.com.
What? We waiting on you. We trying to hear you.
It's your time.
It's your time to shine. On Tired Tuesdays.
Your time to shine.
Come on. Shine.
Hey. Okay. So yeah, Tired Tuesdays. That's all you need to know. If you know somebody who wants to perform, please tell a friend. Yes. Share the flyer, share the video.
Yep.
We want to have everybody from all walks of life and music come in and compete for this. We know that $100 might not be a whole lot of money, but it's something.
It is.
And I think every little bit can help at some point when you're trying to do music. So And if you got a single that you're working on, you'll get free distribution from Huddle Music. Thanks to LaShawn and everybody at Huddle Music for sponsoring the contest.
Right.
He's actually going to be on the show on the 18th to talk a little bit more about Huddle Music and the whole platform.
Yes.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then, we'll have the show.
Yeah.
I am ready. I am really ready
exciting
for this. This is going to be dope. And I'm excited because we're going to be hearing from some people that we probably never heard from before.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to hear what's out there. And that's it. Oh, and then the winners will be announced the following week.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to miss either one. So bring your asses.
It's going to be a show. It's going to be a good time.
A good time.
Good time. Ooh, I cracked my neck a little bit.
Oh, doing too much.
Okay, careful.
So anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you for showing up tonight for us, where it's just us.
Yeah.
And we will be back next week.
Yep.
With another episode of Tired Tuesdays. Just us.
Have a good night,
Unless somebody want to come in and say something at the last second.
Right.
We might have a special guest.
Right.
You never know who's going to show up at the Tired Tuesdays.
You never know.
So, we will see y'all next week. Thank you so much. If you have not already, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to know when we're going live.
Word.
Also follow us on our socials at Tired Tuesdays,
Word.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good
All
stuff.
that.
We there. And if you over on Instagram and you seeing this late, then you need to come on here on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock. That's where we're going to be.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Good night.